What if Naruto was OP but neglected part 2? Let's go. Make sure to join my Discord server in the description, and watch the last part if you haven't already. But now let's get on with the story. Naruto continued to train his Sharingan until he mastered 3 Tomoe, which took him only about a half month, which is so incredibly fast. It's faster than Madara could have, it's faster than any Uchiha could have. It's probably on an Otsutsuki level. It is so incredibly fast that even the Tailed Beasts were surprised. The Tailed Beasts explained that Naruto has the ability to make a special type of clone, kind of like the Shadow clones, but only due to the fact that he holds all 9 Tailed Beasts, or at least a part of each one. These clones would be known as the Tailed Beast style clones. Each clone is able to use one of the Tailed Beast's chakra and abilities. If used properly, every clone can have each one of the Tailed Beast's consciousness as well. Winter has arrived, and Naruto is now 5 years old. Whilst daydreaming after just having finished training, he sees a Hyuga girl, given the name Hinata Hyuga. He sees her being bullied by 3 boys a little older than him, just having started the academy. Before Naruto even got the idea to interfere and help the girl that was his age, Kurama told him not to do it. Naruto is told to just watch, and senses chakra in her eye that isn't yet activated, likely due to her young age. Since for anyone who's not Naruto, 5 years old is still a small child. Naruto is confused because it is unlike the Sharingan, much more calm and relaxed. Naruto asks the Tailed Beast, and they say that it is the Byakugan, a powerful dojutsu with a very wide field of vision, along with better chakra vision, the ability to see further and better as well. Basically, it enhances every aspect that the normal human eye has by a multiple of up to 10. Of course, except for the field of view, since it's impossible to have more than a 360 field of vision. Naruto wonders if he can train to use those eyes too, similar to how he got the Sharingan without actually being a part of the Uchiha clan. Each Tailed Beast gave Naruto encouragement and one form of training that could help him unlock this ability. Naruto is now happy and motivated, so the same day, right when the 3 boys and the Hyuga girl left, Naruto started to train. First, he starts meditating to get into a better state of mind. Then, he pours chakra into his eyes without any anger or sadness, being careful not to trigger the Sharingan, because if he does, then his whole training is for nothing. The Sharingan and the Byakugan are basically opposites. One calm, the other anger. One fueled by relaxation and concentration, the other fueled by sadness and despair. After about a week of becoming more calm, relaxed, and heightening his senses and visual prowess without using the Sharingan, Naruto has now unlocked the Byakugan. Though he still needs a lot of practice using it, since his vision changed dramatically, which threw him off at the beginning. So much so that he fell to the ground, which even that looked a different color, and the aspect looked completely different. He would definitely have to get used to it, though he could manage since he somehow got Kekkei Genkais with just training, which is completely unheard of for anyone else. So if anyone can do it, Naruto can. 3 months later, Naruto at this point is trying to use his 2 dojutsu at the same time, which is proving to be difficult since, as mentioned earlier, they are pretty much opposites. The right eye being taken up by the Sharingan, and the left one filled with the grey-whitish color of the Byakugan. Naruto is currently fighting against 9 of his Tailed Beast style clones, each one using one of the Tailed Beast's consciousness, abilities, and chakra. So basically, Naruto is fighting against a heavily weakened version of each of the Tailed Beasts, all at the same time, by the way. Whilst fighting, he accidentally hurts the clone with second Tailed consciousness, the Matatabi. He hurts her, which makes her bleed, and the clone effectively dies. Naruto is not thinking straight and is crying because he thinks that he killed Matatabi, who was like an older sister to him. The one who always looked out for him, always went careful with any harsh training that the others offered to do. She was always so careful, so kind. And now Naruto had killed her. Naruto goes wild and lets out some of his chakra, which would be picked up by people inside the village, such as Minato if the tailed beasts weren't trying their hardest to control and suppress Naruto's chakra. Naruto faints because for a 5-year-old, seeing a comrade get injured like that because of his actions is too much for Naruto. When Naruto wakes up a few hours later, he notices that his eyes are burning. He decides to pour chakra into his eyes to try to stop the pain or at least make it milder, since somehow the tailed beast healing isn't working. But he notices that instead of easing the pain, a Mangekyo Sharingan activates. The most powerful version of the Mangekyo, which was even able to control the Kyuubi, the nine-tailed fox, and make him attack the Leaf Village, and almost kill his own Jinchuriki. Now Kurama is actually scared, but is telling himself that Naruto would never harm the tailed beast. They're his family. Naruto does not get blind from any usage of his new jutsu because of the tailed beast's immense healing factor. Compiling onto him, the nine-tailed beast's healing is incredible. More than any medical known jutsu could ever do. Even better than any Otsutsuki. It is, well, perhaps not like an Otsutsuki, but it is incredible indeed. Almost like the 10-tailed Jinchuriki would have. If there ever was one, that is. Now Naruto is 6 years old and slowly preparing himself to go to the academy to become a genin, because the tailed beast told him that it was the right thing to do. He should learn social skills, understand people and talk to them, and learn what it is really like to be a shinobi and start from the very ground, from nothing, from a mere child. And the tailed beast did try to warn and train Naruto's mind, because they know that not only is he gonna get bullied or try to be hurt because he's an apparent demon or monster, or tailed beast, but also he's gonna be treated with a child, like a child. And Naruto, I don't want to say he has an ego, but he doesn't like being called a child or being treated like a child. Like I can imagine most people don't. Naruto is now about 1 month off from starting the academy life, and is expanding his underground hideout, which he uses to sleep, and the tailed beasts use at their base of operations whenever Naruto is busy on his own, mostly training. It's like their headquarters. Well, I mean, it is the only base of operations that they have, but if they had multiple, well, yeah, it would be the headquarters. Naruto mostly uses rock manipulation to make the rooms underground bigger, more beautiful, some even with marbling. Expand them into a whole mansion, which anyone would be jealous of. And it's completely hidden from view from anyone outside, and only Naruto can get in, since there is a seal blocking the passageway. Even if someone accidentally stumbled onto it, they wouldn't be able to open it. Unless of course they were exceptionally powerful. But that wasn't gonna happen. At least for now. Naruto is now, for the first time ever, slowly walking out of the forest of death that he had come to love so much, the plants and the animals inside of it, and, well, it is his home. And for the first time ever, he sees the actual village, the bright sun, and the beautiful rooftops that some of the buildings have. There are villagers who pass along normally since they don't recognize Naruto. The only people who have ever seen him were, well, when he was a child. And even they would probably have a hard time remembering him and what he looks like. And well, of course, there is the factor that most people thought he was dead since he had been left in the forest of death for the past 8 years. From a mere baby to now a young, well, academy student, if you want to call it that. Naruto is now entering the academy backyard, where there's but a few trees and one lonely, sad swing. Naruto is getting instructions from the tailed beast as to where the building is, but mostly from the villagers, since he can't ask them without them being mean or aggressive towards him. Though that would probably change in a very, very short time, once they knew who he actually is. The tailed beasts were so kind, they even taught Naruto how to weave his own clothes, which is why Naruto, whenever he wants to, can just hunt for an animal and is able to make any type of clothes from it as he wants to. We cut back to Naruto opening the classroom door, and he sees Iruka, teacher, and most students who are already in the classroom sat down in their seats. Immediately, Iruka turns around to want to greet his new student that came in a little bit late, but then he sees the yellow hair, which is somehow familiar. He knows that the only person that, well, is near the village with yellow hair like that is Minato? He thought to himself. Well, that couldn't be. Wait a minute. He had 2 children, he remembered. One, of course, was the beloved daughter. And one was Naruto, that was the name. A yellow-haired boy, but that couldn't be, could it? Naruto Namikaze? Iruka said slowly. Sorry, it's pretty hard to find this building, Naruto says. By the way, I don't go by that name anymore. I was abandoned by my family, and therefore, that's no longer my name. I'm just Naruto, so please call me that. Thank you. Namikaze? I'm the only descendant of the Namikaze clan. My father is the 4th Hokage, and I'm his only daughter. He is the only Namikaze. Until I was born, which means that you're lying, Mito said, sitting in the middle of the room. There's no other Namikaze but my father and me, so who really are you? Mito asked. As I said, just Naruto. So, let's be friends, yeah? This is already tiring, Naruto says, as he lifts up his arms, bundling them together at the top, and his shirt slightly lifting up, so people can see his abs, part of his six-pack, and everyone is astonished, especially the boys who are amazed, and the girls find it pretty attractive. But for now, Naruto sits down. The day goes as normal. Naruto sits with no one. He sits alone. He isn't per se hated by the teachers, but he does get some weird looks, and, well, the students don't have a problem with him. They actually like him a lot. But on the next day, the students, well, all the students except for Naruto, have a weird lecture about how there are certain bad people and tailed beasts and monsters in this world, and that Naruto is one of them. And Iruka didn't want to give the speech or lecture, but he was forced to by Minato, who wanted to prove and show to everyone that Naruto is a monster, who almost made his wife go maniac. So now, the students don't know what to think of Naruto. Whilst he was eating lunch alone, the students had a lecture about him being a monster. Now the boys were a little bit disgusted, and now had thoughts like, oh, that's why he's ripped. He just wants to kill people. And the girls were immediately turned off, though some of them still had doubts. I mean, Naruto seemed like a nice kid. He was smiling. He didn't have any evil intents. At least, he didn't show any yet. They'd just have to see. For now, the teachers, especially Iruka, would want to find out how strong their new students are, and how strong the future shinobi of the Hidden Leaf would be. So they went outside, not to the backyard, but to a training field, where they all gathered up with about 3 teachers, one proctor, Iruka, and let's say Mizuki. The students would fight one-on-one to show their skills, battle smarts, strategies, and Kekkei Genkai, and so on. Although they weren't expected to have mastered or be in control of any of those things. The teachers just wanted to see if there's any, well, special cases underneath those students. So the first match would be Mito Namikaze versus Sakura Haruno. And here, Mito would take the easy W. She would destroy Sakura, since Sakura is pretty useless at this point. She's no ninja skills, and Mito, well, she had some training from Kushina and, well, Minato whenever he had time. Mito can do some tree walking and some very, very basic chakra control. But she does have some physical power too, so she is superior to Sakura though, as she is rather knowledgeable for her age. Next fight, Shino versus Kiba. Shino wins this one too, since he has control over his bugs, whilst Kiba can just use Akamaru and run around the field. Nothing more, but nothing less either. They're both not bad, but Shino is shown to be much, much superior to Kiba in every way, shape, and form. Even in speed, which is the Aburame's specialty. And now, it would be Naruto versus Sasuke Uchiha. Everybody bet that Sasuke would sweep the floor with a newbie. Although some did have doubts, Naruto's physique was quite superior to Sasuke, and matter of fact, anybody that they knew. But Sasuke did have the One Tomoe Sharingan. Yeah, in the story he does have the One Tomoe Sharingan at this age, which is pretty impressive, and is actually not quite, but pretty close to his brother Itachi. But of course Itachi is still superior. But at this point the Uchiha Massacre didn't happen, so Sasuke was able to train with Itachi and become stronger than he currently would be in canon. Though he doesn't have that drive to seek revenge or anything really. So their fight begins, and Naruto immediately rushes towards Sasuke, trying to hit him in the stomach. The Sasuke just barely dodges. Now Naruto wants to finish this match quickly, and shoots a barrage of kicks and punches, which wear Sasuke down incredibly fast. After only about 15 seconds, Sasuke's already feeling weak, until he lets out his Sharingan. Now he thinks he won. There's no way Naruto can do anything. Now Sasuke can see all of his moves before they even happen. And before Naruto even activates his own Sharingan or Byakugan, which he could, and easily defeat Sasuke, he decides no. He'll defeat Sasuke fair and square, just like that, with his bare hands. And without even calling any of the tailed beasts chakra, Naruto goes mayhem, and now uses about twice as much power in his kicks and punches as he was before, and even faster, and even more speed. Now he's truly going faster than people can even see. And with that, 10 seconds later, the fight was over, and Sasuke was laying on the floor, now the Sharingan deactivated. I give up, Sasuke said. Therefore, Naruto was crowned the victor. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave off the video today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join my Discord. See ya!